Looks like Mother Nature simply does not want Blue Origins to reach for the skies. The aerospace manufacturer had to, yet again, delay the New Shepard rocket launch due to weather conditions. Now where does that leave us? Let's find out. First up, Blue Origins is forced to scrub launch plans. The Bezos-owned space manufacturer had to recently scrub its launch plans, scheduled for September 2nd this Friday. The blame goes to the weather conditions in West Texas at Launch Site 1 for foiling the company's plans. The news came one day before the big day at about 4 p.m. Now, the company has not revealed when the next NS-23 window opens, but we have been promised more updates on the matter. Blue Origins will be closely monitoring weather conditions to see if they allow for the NS-23 launch. Unfortunately, this isn't the first time the company has found itself in a situation like this. Back on August 31st, Blue Origins had to delay its launch plans all because the weather wasn't cooperating. Coincidentally, it was also the NS-23 launch mission. Looks like the stars aren't aligning for this one. Let's take a look at mission details. As is obvious from the name, NS-23 is the 23rd mission that would be undertaken by the Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket. The mission doesn't involve human passengers, unlike the company's previous endeavors. According to the mission plans, the NS-23 will be uncrewed. Instead, the rocket will be taking 36 payloads on a brief visit to suborbital space and back. That's double the amount of education-focused payloads in the previous payload flight manifest. Looks like Blue Origins is trying to expand its operations. According to one post from the company on August 24th, 18 of the 36 payloads are funded by NASA's Flight Opportunities Program. 24 of the payloads are from K-12 schools, universities, and STEM-focused organizations. What's more, 2 of the payloads will fly on the exterior of the rocket's booster for ambient exposure in space. These payloads will expose students all the way from elementary schools to those studying in STEM to skills like environmental testing and coding. If the mission ends up being a success, it'll mark the rocket's 4th flight this year and a 9th overall flight. It's also the company's first payload-only flight since August of last year. Moving on, an experiment from Waterloo student scheduled for space travel. Joining the 36 payloads is Olivia Yee's experiment inspired by Silly String. Olivia is a first-year engineering student at the University of Waterloo. She was a high school student back when she first participated in the online SHAD Canada program 2 years ago. For those of you who don't know, SHAD Canada is a month-long program that pairs exceptional students with brilliant mentors. She was part of a 10-member team that won the challenge to develop a research experiment to be conducted in microgravity aboard New Shepard. She was up against 600 other students, all from Canada. At first, they couldn't think of anything, but with time, their research led them to the discovery of the 2008 experiment by the European Space Agency, centered around the stability of foam, and voila, they won. Olivia is obviously elated about the fact that her little science experiment is going to be launched into space. In her own words, it's truly an awesome feeling. Their experiment focuses on creating foam in reduced microgravity and comparing its properties with control foam created on Earth. Interestingly, the experiment is packed into a 4x4 by 8-inch box. As for who will carry out the rocket on the uncrewed mission, well, the experiment is set to be automatically triggered by flight data sent via a wired connection. Unfortunately, it'll be a while before Olivia gets to see her baby in action, with the mission being delayed and all. Up next, a look at the mission's manifest. Gracing the manifest highlights, we have Olympia Space's NGART box, Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratories Janus APL, and NASA Armstrong Flight Research Center's CFOS. The Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Laboratories Janus APL will be mounting its Janus payload for the first time on the New Shepard propulsion module for the first time to measure conditions outside the crew capsule. Then there's also the MIT Media Lab, wax casting that'll study how cleaner propellants can be manufactured in space in the future. That includes the likes of paraffin and beeswax. The New Shepard rocket also has Infinity Fuel Cell's AMPUS experiment, the University of Florida's Biological Imaging in support of suborbital science, and Honeybee Robotics Asset 1. The Olympia Space NGART box on board is of particular interest as the project integrates engineering, science, and art by documenting the challenges of painting in a non-gravity environment. Now that's a first. Also joining Olivia's experiment is Neo City Academy. WOS will be sending their 3-minute experiment to test the effects of gravity on ultrasonic sound waves. All in all, it's a house full. Coming up, how did NS-22 go? While NS-23 may be running into some turbulence time and time again, the N-22 NS-22 was a huge success. It was the company's 6th human spaceflight and the 22nd flight for the rocket. Unlike the NS-23, the NS-22 was a manned mission. On board, we had Steve Young, Mario Ferreira, Clint Kelly III, Vanessa O'Brien, Kobe Cotton, and Sarah Sabri, a stellar crew that was able to achieve 3 historic feats. Sarah Sabri was the first person from Egypt to venture into space. Joining her, Vanessa O'Brien became the first woman to reach extremes and complete the Explorer's Extreme Trifecta, earning a Guinness World Record. And finally, we have Mario Ferreira, who became the first person to fly to space from Portugal. The mission was launched on August 4th without a hitch. The suborbital rocket, thrust by a launcher, reached an altitude of 1,000 kilometers before descending by parachute and landing in the desert somewhere near the launch site. The flight lasted for about 10 minutes, giving the people on board a chance to witness space in all its glory. The flight was streamed live for everyone to watch all over the world. The people on board could be heard saying, "It's fascinating," as they took in the sights. Although the mission was brief, the crew was left with memories for a lifetime. Hopefully the day will come when, like the NS-22, we'll hear news about the success of NS-23. For now, we wait for a launch date from the company. Now for other news. First up, James Webb Space Telescope captures never-before-seen images. It seems like the James Webb Telescope is on a roll. Just recently, NASA's latest toy has given us a closer look at a region known as Tarantula Nebula, which is located in the Large Magellanic Cloud. The nebula is about 160,000 light-years away and is known as a stellar nursery 30 Doradus. The James Webb Telescope images cover an area of 340 light-years. One look at the pictures, and you can see that the region resembles a burrowing tarantula's home, making the name all the more fitting. What's more, the nebula is home to the hottest, most massive stars to exist ever, making it of particular interest to astronomers. Studying the nebula gives astronomers a unique opportunity to take a peek at the cosmos' rich past. Next up, first space nation expected to burn up this month. Asgardia, a micro space station by the people, launched a space satellite, but it looks like the company's primary real estate was just not meant to be. What was supposed to be humanity's first space nation is going to be a flaming hot mess soon this month. According to tracking data from the US Space Force, the Asgardia 1 satellite is going to re-enter the atmosphere as soon as this Sunday. We've got dates for September 14th and another date for September 11th, according to Staview, a website that tracks space junk. It was launched in 2017 as the centerpiece of the experimental digital nation dubbed Asgardia. The satellite was set to study the impact of space radiation on digital data storage. On board, we had digital copies of Asgardia's constitution flag and data about the nation's citizens, all people who opted to take part in the experimental digital nation building. Hopefully, they'll try again. Finally, the Hubble Space Telescope spots overlapping spiral galaxies. Even though the James Webb Telescope is all the rage these days, the Hubble Telescope is not out of commission just yet. Just recently, NASA's old veteran spotted 2 overlapping spiral galaxies. The 2 galaxies, which lie more than 1 billion light-years away from Earth, make for a breathtaking sight. However, their names are less awe-inspiring: SDSS J115331 and LIDA 2073461. It looks like they're almost colliding in the image. But the truth is, the 2 galaxies are not interacting at all. In fact, they're simply ships that seem to be passing in the night. The image comes as part of the highlights of the Galaxy Zoo project. If you do know, the project was established back in 2007 that gives volunteers the chance to classify galaxies imaged by robotic telescopes. These people are often the first ever to set eyes on an astronomical project. Over the years, the project has come across all sorts of weird galaxies, including 3-armed spiral galaxies and colliding ring galaxies. Pretty neat, if you ask us. Alright, what are your thoughts on the N-23 mission? Let us know in the comments section below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Bye!